Okay, hello and welcome to the first Hive of 2021. We've got a full house today, so welcome back Charlotte, Joe and Lorna and me, the other Joe. So good to have you here, and it's good to have all four of us on for this first one of the year. And today we're going to be talking about what one word or phrase of the pandemic vernacular would you like to consign to room 101? So let's start with you, Charlotte, because it was your idea.
Oh, absolutely. I've been wanting to do this for ages, Joe. Yeah, there's so many words and phrases. Like we've got a whole new lexicon as a result of the pandemic. So I'm going to pitch in with the one that I think will win going into 101. And this is the government's obsession with the 3-word slogan. Okay. So hear me out. So anyone who knows me knows that I am a massive fan of the rule of 3 in communication, but the government have ruined it for me with their never-ending, vague and irritating slogans. Okay, so it's not true that the rule of 3 originated in advertising. If you think about it, it's been used all over the place from the beginning of time. You've got Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. You've got Shakespeare's friends, Roman countrymen. It's the French motto, the Olympic motto. Barack Obama uses it in speeches. Steve Jobs absolutely loved it. But the UK government have taken it to the next level with their fatal vagueness. I think they've downloaded a word salad random slogan generator app, and they press it and out comes 3 words that they think sound brilliant. So they'd already got the bit between their teeth with Brexit. So what do we have? Get Brexit done, take back control, oven ready deal, build back better, leave means leave. Okay, forget political correctness gone mad. It is 3-word slogan gone mad. COVID has just been a 3-word slogan fest for them. They cannot get enough of their 3-word slogan. What have we got? Hand, space, space, stay home, protect the NHS, save lives, reskill, rethink, reboot. They're driving me absolutely insane. And actually, do you know what, on a serious point, actually, it treats us all like flipping idiots. And they need to stop. They need to make it go away. They need to make it go away now. It's not COVID that's going to kill me, people. It is the government's 3-word slogan. Thank you.
Love it, love it. Excellent. Gosh, that's a starter for 10 for sure. So Lorna, what's yours?
I don't know. Oh, can I get? I don't think I can. Is it possible to get as passionate as Charlotte did
No.
in the time that I have allotted? Mine is, and it won't be a surprise, is new normal needs to go in the chuffing bin. Thank you. Because there's no such thing. Now, I think the reason this is so seductive, and I think back to what Charlotte talked about in our very first podcast, which is that humans really, really crave certainty. So we're so keen to get and latch onto some certainty or some clarity that we're just looking for a normal, but there isn't any such thing. There's a thing yesterday on the news. There was 64 different rules and restrictions about what you can and can't do since the beginning of COVID restrictions started in the UK. So that, you know, that just proves that there has been and probably will continue to not be any sense of normal. The virus is evolving. We have to be agile and out ahead of it to keep safe. So I think for me, it also, what really drives me bananas about this is it puts pressure on people that there is an idea of a normal, and if they're not working to it or living by it or coping with it or living within it, whatever that might be, you know, getting up at the same time every day, going out for their, you know, run, making a sourdough starter, whatever nonsense it is that is supposed to be this new normal, it just puts additional pressure on people that we don't need. We're all coping in different ways. So what's normal for you is not normal for someone else. We just had that conversation when before we joined the call. You know, have whatever is normal for you today, whatever gets you through, and tomorrow that might be completely different. But bin new normal, no such thing. Thank you,
Lorna. Lovely. That over to you then, Joe Dodds.
I don't want to follow either of them. We've got the passion, then we've got, you know, the real sort of getting underneath the sort of point of it and everything else. And mine's not going to be anywhere near as sophisticated. And it's a word that I've hated forever, not just during the pandemic. It's the word pivot.
I agree.
I quite like it as a concept, you know, as in something in the middle of something and something going around it, you know, that's sort of where it came from, the reason you're supposed to be using it. But the whole thing about pivot in your business, which, you know, lots of us change what we do and adjust what we do and move in different ways as we go through our business life, but it's not pivot, is it? And you know, I didn't like it all along. Then we talked about the fact that we were going to talk about our words today, and then somebody sent me an email only about 3 days ago, and it said something like, I'll find out from them and then I'll pivot back to you. I'm like, I'll do what?
Oh.
They're going to do like some sort of pirouette or something and then send me an email, but you know, that really wasn't the right use of the word in any shape or form, never mind the way that it is. But you know, over the years we've had, you know, business bingo, haven't we? And there's always things that we can sort of list down and sort of spot, and you know, that, as I say, has been one that's really driven me mad for many years. And just occasionally with these words we get to the stage where we almost use them ourselves, don't we?
Yes.
And then I probably have used it myself, but you know, you sort of, and you think, oh my God, it's getting so common that it feels like the right thing to say, and then you remember that it's really rubbish and you're not going to. So yeah, please don't use that word.
Absolutely. It's like the
develop or something.
It's like the business bingo, isn't it? You're reaching out and circling back, and, which is what I think your pivoting person was attempting to do. They were just trying to move circling back on a little bit.
Jumping on a call.
Yes.
Pinging emails. I mean, it's all just awful.
And my utter favourite, and this isn't pandemic related, I'll come on to mine in a minute, but my favourite in the broader business bingo is hack. I just hate it. I absolutely hate it. Hacking is when you chop down a tree or when you hack into computer code. End of. Anyway.
It's not a shortcut, is it?
No, it's not. So my word, thank you, ladies. My choice. So the word I want to consign to Room 101 is intentional. And you might be surprised, but it's because I know that's why, because I am sick of hearing myself say it. And the reason I've been saying it over and over is because in our new hybrid workplaces with our dispersed and divided workforces, we do need to be much more intentional about what we're doing. Creating interactions with our teams, more intentional about supporting health and well-being and learning and development opportunities. You know, there's evidence showing that's really taking a hit for dispersed workforces. More intentional about creating spontaneous water cooler moments and opportunities for collaboration. But I am hoping that by the end of 2021, the need for me to keep saying intentional over and over and over again, sorry, rule of 3 there, Charlotte, will mean that I can consign intentional to Room 101. So that's my thought. So there we go. So who's going to win that one then?
Me. Because they're rubbish. Because they're rubbish and they've ruined it for me. And I love the rule of 3 so much, and I talk about it so much when I do my talks and my training. It's like, government, leave it alone.
Do you think you'll be able to come out of the other side, or do you think it's ruined for you forever?
Oh no, I'm having I don't know. Do you know what? Do you know something? Little fun fact here. The word slogan is Gaelic for battle cry.
Oh, nice.
How's that?
Love that little fact.
That's something. That's today's little learning.
I shall write that down.
If what you've just hit on though, Charlotte, is that, you know, it's, I think we do this in business and potentially in communications and HR quite a lot, is that there are things that really work and they work for really good reasons. And as you've just said, the rule of 3 is 1. You know,
no, it's 3.
Since language and interaction was invented. However, if you overdo any of them, you do them to death, you either rely on them, you know, if all you've got is a hammer, everything looks like a nail type thing, then it won't work anymore. And so you need to be more intentional about your use of it.
And pivot in your thinking to come up with a new approach.
To come up with a new normal.
Indeed.
But you know why, I mean, you know why they're doing it, because their communications director has said that things grouped in 3s work. But the problem is with it is it trivializes the importance of the public health safety message. If they just picked one good, because there are some good ones, like kind of Stop, Look and Listen is a really good public service announcement. See it, say it, sort it. Really, really, really good. But the problem is with them is they got the Brexit 3-word slogan bit between their teeth with get Brexit done, take back control, leave means leave. And someone's just gone, oh, look, you know, that made us leave the European Union. So actually, let's just keep going with these silly, and they are silly and they are empty, and they make us look like idiots, as if we can all be convinced by, you know, the facile jingle bells versions of slogans. And actually good 3-word slogans are excellent, and they work, and organize, you know, ideas organized around 3. The rule of 3 is an excellent working concept, and they've boiled it down to juvenile nonsense.
They've spoilt it for you.
And that's it, isn't it? It's not, it doesn't mean anything. It has to mean something.
Exactly, Laura.
Friends, Romans, countrymen. You're
point.
talking to the same group of people and you're saying, you are my friends, we're one, we share this country and we are Romans and we should be proud of it. There's meaning in those 3 words, and it resonates beyond the 3 words, whereas what you've just said is it doesn't. And that's the comms failure of it.
Yeah, exactly, Laura. You hit the nail exactly on the head with it. That's why, and you know what? It's not actually working.
I think
so
the first one at the start of the pandemic, the first use of it, the first one did actually
stay at home, protect the NHS, save lives. That one,
bang on. You know, it was simple, understandable, and it was the utter essence of what we all needed to do. The problem is that they quickly adapted it, adjusted it, turned it into something else, and there's just been iteration after iteration after iteration.
Well, you know what, and then it just gets it just becomes memes. You know,
it's your word salad. It's what you're calling your word salad.
Oh, and then people have taken it on Twitter, and they've taken the mickey out of it. You know, it's become memes, and actually then that further dilutes the message and the seriousness as well, because people are they see through it, and they're just taking the piss now.
But it comes a bit like that sort of pop culture thing. So it's interesting, you just said that resonates further or something. Resonates is a word that I hate as well. And
You're welcome.
but what I was going to say is you used it in the right way. So I didn't hate that you used it, because that was right. And I know I'm sure we've all done it. I know, Joe, you have, and I do, because we talk to each other a lot. I sometimes say, you know, so if that resonates with you, and then I think, oh, what did I say that for? I hate that. So I don't like that use of it, even though occasionally I use it, because it's popular sort of vernacular, and we just, you know, that's probably a tautology, isn't it? Vernacular probably is popular. That's the whole point. But, you know, we end up doing it because everyone's saying it, but you used it in the right way. So it's really funny in the context of this conversation. You said something that I normally don't like, and I thought, oh no, that's right, because it's the right way of using it, and that's why it was right. But normally we end up using it in a popular way, and it's the same with the 3 things, as you said at the beginning, when it was a sophisticated use of the rule of 3, it worked really well. It's now become popular sort of culture type stuff, hasn't it? And that's valued. Turn it to a meme, and that's where it goes wrong.
So I'm wondering if there is something in here about, and I know this is for Charlotte and Woodry, Joe, that this is a big thing for you guys, which is the authenticity of what you're saying. There has to be some meaning and empathy and connection with the audience to what you're saying. So just saying something either because it's what everyone else has said, or because it sounds nice, or it's nice and alliterative, people will see straight through that. So what you've just identified, Joe, is that one way of using resonates makes you itch, but actually when someone's talking about it in context that has relevance and reference for you, it doesn't, because the wider message is important to you and it connects with you. So I don't know if I've lost the plot there entirely, but I think that's why I hate new normal so much, because it feels like a bit of a flippant, not particularly emotionally intelligent way. It's almost like saying get over it. The new normal thing. It's almost like saying,
crack on.
You're just kind of brushing aside the fact that we're living in the middle of a blinking pandemic, and it seems to be going on for far longer than any of us would ever have thought or wanted. So just honour that and recognise it, rather than the flippancy of the, as you say, the overused 3 words or the new normal.
So I'm beginning to I'm beginning to think that Lorna might be winning, because building on what she's just been saying, the rule of 3 is fine when it's done and used properly,
Yes, hang on, don't get me wrong. I'm not consigning my beloved rule of
No, I know,
101.
no. You're
I'm
consigning
consigning the
government's use, trashing of it.
Trite overuse of it. I'm consigning their word salad 3-word slogans to 101.
Yes. So maybe, but I'm just wondering whether it's an agile pivot. Sorry, not agile. That was one of my second ones. That was up my sleeve. Pivot, used properly. Pivot
is a thing, yeah.
I mean, a pivot table, that's the only place pivot belongs on an Excel spreadsheet.
I googled it before we came. There were a number of other uses for it, but not normally the way it is. I think it is about a lazy pop thing. So
yeah, it's lazy like unprecedented lazy language.
Yes, we used new normal in some of our first videos. I know I did, and I know we ended up joking about it because at some stage it transitioned from being an authentic new way of describing something that we were all dealing with into, as you say, this sort of popular flippant phrase.
Lazy.
And at that stage we were taking the mickey out of it, and then we stopped using it. And I think that's part of that transition, isn't it, as you say?
It is.
It's not true anymore. I mean, we were hopeful when we were talking about new normal back in I don't know, like 1802, whenever we started these podcasts.
When the pandemic began, when we were still
we'd still got all our own teeth and our sanity and wore shoes. Then it felt hopeful, it felt real. We actually felt that actually there might be a new normal very soon and we could adapt to it. And now we were just saying this before we came as well, we're actually quite tired and jaded, and we've recognised that is not where we are. So to still use it does a disservice to that reality.
Well, I could go on phrases. I think the other thing I hate is when politicians say, "Let me be crystal clear," and then they absolutely precede that with the murkiest, most unclear, the most waffling bit of nonsense you've ever heard in your life.
It brings forth yet another word salad.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you.
Absolutely. Well,
darling.
There we go. The lovely reality of home working and homeschooling and all the rest of it from Charlotte there.
I've got half an hour.
So I think we probably call it a day there, ladies. So thank you for listening, and join the argument. Who won? Or have you got your own choice of words that you want to put into Room 101? But vote for Charlotte, vote for Lorna, vote for Jo.
On those shows? Vote for me. Vote for me.
Be intentional.